Welcome to the Uncommon Transformation television series.
Akwa Ibom ayayao Sinyana baraswene kisonge mananye Akwa Ibom ayayao ayayao
You are welcome to Akwa Ibom State, the land of uncommon transformation. Come and join us, live amongst us, and invest, and you will not regret. I welcome you.
Monday, 25th June 2012 will remain indelible in the life of the good people of Akwa Ibom State. On that day, the whole of Nigeria literally relocated to Akwa Ibom, with Nigeria's President Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, leading the pack. Others who came visiting on the same day include Senate President David Mark, all the 109 senators, Speaker House of Representatives Aminu Tambuwal, governors of some sister states, the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Alhaji Abubakar Saad, among other top dignitaries. On his arrival, the president already had work to do. He kick-started by commissioning the administrative building at the Akwa Ibom International Airport, which is one of the new additions to the existing structures Mr. President commissioned in 2010.
Today is the application. I'm here for the Senate project. That shows that commission this airport again block for the use for for the general administration of Akwa Ibom and all other business in this part of the world.
The administrative building will house the Nigerian Immigration Service, Nigerian Customs, National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA, among others. Governor Godswill Akpabio had earlier informed Mr. President that the building was another modest contribution by his administration to deepen dividends of democracy.
Your first project you are commissioning in Akwa Ibom in the year 2012. As usual, your government is working. We are here representing you. This one is just the administrative building for the airport. And to mention, Mr. President, I won't waste much time here. We have only just 3 projects for you to commission. The administrative building will house the offices for the airport, for the customs, for immigration, for the about 60 offices. So, and then also the training facilities. So this is just to ensure that we start from here. Then the main terminal building is there. We will give you the pictures before you leave. We are building a main terminal building. We are also building a taxiway, a parallel taxiway. And then for the main terminal building, it has 7 fingers. One of them is for A380 plane. We are hoping that in future Nigeria may be lucky to host one A380 plane. So we have a figure for it already prepared. And that will be ready in the next 18 months. And so the parallel taxiway is like a second runway. We are doing it in a way that light aircrafts can land and take off, while at the same time it serves the purpose of lining up planes for takeoff and landing. Then we're expanding this apron to allow for private hangars up to 3 kilometers from where you are seeing now.
In tandem with Mr. President's businesslike approach to the activities of the day, he took off in a motorcade amidst cheers from appreciative Akwa Ibom people who came to accord him a deserving welcome. His next port of call was the e-library. The e-library is a strong backbone infrastructure put in place by the Akwa Ibom administration to give impetus to its nationally and internationally acclaimed free and compulsory education policy. The e-library, apart from putting more information at the fingertips of its users, provides self-study courses for almost all the professional certifications available. The e-books and online training courses are also available on a server where students and registered clients can access around the clock. The e-learning database comprises about 5,000 video training covering a wide range of information technology. Mr. President, who was obviously happy with what the administration of Akwa Ibom has achieved, thanked the governor for providing quality infrastructure, noting that he has been monitoring developments in the state for a long time.
The federal government is quite happy to associate with this Nigerian rights, and especially for this e-library. Yesterday I did mention Nigerian must have talked about the industrial revolution, when they took our people as slaves to go and work elsewhere. This is talking about digital revolution, and I think we must keep should not be left behind. This is a good way to bring the people of Akwa Ibom and those who are here to join the rest of the world in the IT revolution. So we are grateful as we formally commissioned this project for the use of Akwa Ibom State, other Nigerians that are here, and indeed the rest of the world. And I'm doing this commissioning in honor and glory of God. State e-library built by the administration of Chief Godswill Albert Akwa Ibom, CON, and commissioned by me today, 25th day of June 2012.
Governor Akwa Ibom, in his modest manner, informed Mr. President that the e-library, among its numerous benefits, was an attempt by his administration to improve the reading culture in the country.
Mr. President, here is your first e-library in Nigeria, and here is your first e-library in West Africa, and we are hoping that with time you'll be able to move your ECOWAS meeting to Akwa Ibom when we are through with the second 5-star hotel, which is going to be run by Hilton Group. We are putting a facility for about 7,000 people sitting in the International Conference Center, and we have made sure that you can have interpretation in 125 languages. So when you bring them here, it is this kind of project that you will show them that yes, indeed things are happening. Like they carry you to Davos, to Doha, and other places, not the state capital. So you take them out of Abuja and bring them to the land of Uyo. I'll tell you the spiritual significance when we get to the retreat. But I invite you, Mr. President, to commission this, I call it knowledge-based center, the first digital knowledge-based center in Nigeria. In law, we say res ipsa loquitur. The act speaks for itself. From the aesthetics to the furnishing to the equipping, you will say that it is truly a knowledge-based center. And yeah, man, let me tell you why we are very proud of you. I tell Nigerians that this is the first time we have a graduate as president of Nigeria. And not just a graduate, the first PhD holder to rule Nigeria. Nigerians must give you the opportunity to allow your education to bear in the transformation of this country. You must not be distracted. You have never had a PhD holder as the president of this country. And therefore things cannot be the same again. In 50 years we have been struggling. Now you are bringing education to bear in the governance of this country.
And this transformation will not be complete if the component parts of Nigeria are equally not transformed.
Mr. President was led on a tour of the facility. Officials of the e-library and some of the first-time visitors to the facility speak.
Transformation in action. This is state-of-the-art. The architecture is very impressive. It's a tremendous working environment, and what's interesting, you're capturing the young people from a very early age. And nowadays, if you want to be up to speed, you have to be proficient in ICT. So it's a tremendous initiative, Governor. I want to congratulate you and Akwa Ibom State on this. It's futuristic. It's very impressive.
Free is a phenomenon. It's something that will explode. Its reach you cannot access in one whole piece at a time. It has the capacity to link you to the whole world. It has the capacity to expose the Akwa Ibom people and even beyond. It has capacity to tie up the whole state, the whole libraries in the whole state, and bring people to the realization that you can read not even from the electronic media and keep them up and doing.
Here you have the children's multimedia, where we teach our children how to use the system, use computer systems. As you can see, they each have their different laptops where they get to work on different packages, different applications. They can also learn to use the internet.
Without free education, you see, so many of us and so many of our parents, they are very brilliant, but they have no people to send them to school because of school fees. These students that are here, so many of their parents wouldn't have been able to send them to the school if the school had been paying fees. So we thank the governor, we thank the president.
When a people have been held captive for too long by the twin evil of neglect and maladministration, there is always a release of joy that words may be far too limited to explain whenever reprieve comes their way. This best describes the emotional scenes of the crowd that flanked both sides of the newly constructed, dualized Akanungude Road as they waved endlessly, chanting the praises of Mr. President and their beloved digital governor, Chief Gaswil Akpabio, CON, for giving them a new lease of life. The people of Ibesikwa Sultan local government area and other users of the Akanungude Road suffered economic hardship of unquantifiable proportion for several years as a result of the deplorable condition of this road until year 2010, when the Akpabio administration awarded contract for its construction, bringing succor to the inhabitants and users of the road. President Goodluck Jonathan, flanked by host Governor Gaswil Akpabio and his wife Ekaitu Norma Akpabio, stepped forward to commission the road aptly described as a construction marvel of the 21st century.
But what I can say is that the people of Akwa Ibom, the government of Akwa Ibom, and of course my good friend, Governor Akwa Ibom, done wonderfully well. In the other days, I said from 94 to date, I think there's no year that I don't come to Akwa Ibom. Especially when I was in Umpa before the political educated, I was in Bayelsa. I was always coming, sometimes especially the possible. This road is quite impressive. The construction, the street lights, the vista is very tall, marvelous. Commend the company which is here, and the state service of works. I formerly commissioned this road for use.
Mr. President's one-day working visit to Akwa Ibom State climaxed with the opening of the Senate retreat at the Meridian Ibom Hotel and Golf Resort, Uyo.
I thank the Senate for its foresight, maturity, and commitment in initiating this discourse on national security. The Senate, being a body of all political parties, can work to elevate national security above politics. Mr. Senate President and distinguished senators, before the Civil War, armed robbery was not known in Nigeria. However, with the influx of small arms and light weapons into the country during the war, many of our cities started experiencing armed robbery after the war. We had experienced militancy in the oil-producing areas of the South. We have also witnessed ethnic nationalities, militia groups in different zones of the Federation, as well as kidnapping and cybercrime in our country. It's unfortunate that politics has become a major source of insecurity, as evidenced in the do-or-die politics of some politicians. Bitter and inflammatory statements emanating from some politicians have, at different times in the history of this country, consumed thousands of innocent lives and threatened the foundation of our nation.
Governor Godswill Akpabio expressed appreciation to the leadership of the Senate for choosing to host their retreat in Akwa Ibom State and used the opportunity to enumerate the potentials available in the state.
It is for us to make Nigeria safe for all Nigerians and for the global community. It is for us to sing a new song of love and to put to shame those with words of bitterness and of political opportunists who are hoping to come through the back door in the event of insecurity in the nation. I speak to you today, distinguished senators, as a father who is equally worried about the country that we are going to leave behind for our children. I'm speaking also as a governor who is concerned that my people are not given, in some parts of our dear country, the same kind of hospitality and freedom that we are giving to other Nigerians in Akwa Ibom. I speak to you as a Democrat who is pained when the pillars of democracy are shaken. I speak to you as a Nigerian who believes that the labors of our heroes past should never be in vain. Tears have no color. Tears have no tribe. Tears have no religion. When they roll down the eyes of anybody, your eyes also cannot stay dry. When bombs explode in Kaduna, as it did recently, we weep also in Akwa Ibom State. Please, let us use this retreat to discuss and go back to our various senatorial districts to talk to our constituents that we must collectively bring this carnage to an end. When Moses in our Bible, and it's also in the Quran, led the children of Israel out of Egypt, they came one day and told him that the Egyptian army was coming. Moses, the prophet of God, just like Jonathan, the divine president that was brought to Nigeria, he replied the Egyptians, and he told them, he said, these Egyptians you see today, you will see them again no more. My assurance to Mr. President is that the so-called Boko Haram you see today, very soon you will see them again no more. Amen. I thank you for coming to the State of Uncommon Transformation. At the end of this retreat, we would have been able to bring up uncommon policies that will move the Uncommon Senate because they came to the Uncommon State. And by implication, they would have renewed the covenant with Nigerians at Gilgal. Welcome to Gilgal.
Senate President David Mark Speaker House of Representatives Aminu Tambuwal, National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party PDP, spoke at the event which afforded the lawmakers opportunity to reflect on the state of the nation and forge a way forward.
People have given reasons for the causes of the actions of the Boko Haram sect. They say it is poverty. To me, the link is very tenuous. If every poor man in this country decides to become a suicide bomber, Nigeria simply will not exist. Secondly, people have said it's lack of education. I agree that that may be an issue, but we cannot overcome that overnight. Tomorrow morning, those who are not properly educated cannot get educated. There will be a long-term solution to it. And I think the government has taken the right step in educating the Almajiris in the north.
The damage to the Nigerian economy, especially to the dwindling fortunes of the north, where most of this terrorism occur, is incalculable.
Let there be no mistake that the question of security is a human rights problem with global implications. It is therefore everybody's business, irrespective of race, color, or creed. Life is sacrosanct and must be preserved. Attack on any part of our country is an assault on the whole country.
The senators were later treated to a gala at the newly commissioned state-of-the-art banquet hall, where the hospitality of the good people of Akwa Ibom was showcased.
I've seen a city that has truly undergone transformation.
Considering the fact that a lot of money is given to states, to all the states. In some states, when you go, you don't see this money translated to physical development. But believe you me, in this state, when you come, that is the first thing that strikes you.
I was here about, I would say, 2 months ago, and what I saw marveled me. And I couldn't believe that we will have someone that have such a vision. I'm impressed, and a lot of us here are very, 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 very impressed. Because yesterday that they came, they moved around a little bit, and you can see that if we have governors performing like this, I'm sure Nigeria will be a different place.
The Senate is a bastion of democracy, because when the country was at crossroads, in the period of uncertainty, it was the Senate that gave Nigeria a direction. It was the Senate that gave Nigeria stability. So to host the Senate in Akwa Ibom State today is a big deal for us in Akwa Ibom State.
Let me commend you, Your Excellency, for what you've done so far, and urge you to do more in the few years that we've got left to serve as the governor of Akwa Ibom State. I was telling you that I was here some years back. At that time, none of these buildings existed here. But you assured me that on my return that I will recognize this place again. And I told you that I didn't recognize the place when we were coming this season. It is not exactly how much you get that is important. I think it's how judiciously you utilize the money that you get.
I have justified even the 13% they are giving us. Before I became a governor, one of the things that worried me was
was that each time they speak about Niger Delta, people will say so much money goes there, but so little is seen on the ground. 5 years after, people are saying this governor is taking on too much. When will he get the money to pay?
Are you yet to visit Akwa Ibom State? This is a clarion call to you. You, yes you, to visit the state and do business here. It is simply the place to be.